I found NCA Property Law exam to be the hardest NCA exam, and I actually went crazy preparing for this exam. I passed the exam on my first attempt, but I feel like I made a lot of mistakes preparing for this exam. And I thought that maybe I could share those mistakes with you so that, first of all, you don't make them and you don't go crazy preparing for the exam like I did. So if you're interested, keep watching. Before I move on to the mistakes that I had made, I want to share why I thought that property law exam was really hard for me. The first reason is that I had never taken Canadian property law course anywhere in school, or I had absolutely no knowledge about property law. Neither am I interested in property law. The course, I only took UK's land law when I was doing law school, and some of the concepts were similar, but NCA Property Law course also requires you to study wills and estates. So that is when what happens to property upon someone's death. And I had never in my life studied that, and so I had no knowledge, and I found that the course was very tricky, and yeah, so I think that again the reason is that because I had no knowledge about the course. If you've taken this course somewhere, maybe it is easier for you, but because I never took this course, it was very hard for me. Moving on to the mistakes, the first mistake that I had made was that I bought property notes from Kijiji. So Kijiji is a website where you can buy and sell. Whoops. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so property. So I had bought notes from Kijiji. Kijiji is a website where you can buy and sell stuff, and there are people who sell notes on Kijiji, and I bought these notes in 2018. At the time, there were not a lot of tutors who were selling property law notes, so me being desperate, I just bought them off Kijiji, and that's the biggest mistake that I made. The notes were pretty crappy. They were not according to the syllabus, and some notes that were according to the syllabus were very precise. So I wouldn't understand anything because they were really short. And so I highly recommend that you never ever purchase NCA notes off Kijiji. Don't do that. Not just for property law, but any other course that you're taking. Don't trust Kijiji because you can't see the person who's selling notes. It's just, it's anonymous and they could sell whatever they want. And I don't know why people do that. They're exploiting students who are writing these exams. I mean, I don't know what joy they get out of doing it, but it is what it is. And just please don't, you should educate yourself and don't buy the notes. So yeah, that was the mistake that I made, and I really struggled because of that mistake. Second mistake that I made, that when I realized that my notes were crappy, I did not purchase books. I think I should have purchased books and case books because, again, no prior knowledge. I think books are very helpful in order to understand detail, in order to understand the course in more detail. And then the case books are also very important because they really help you, understand case law. So I did not purchase the books. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I don't know, but now that I look back at it, I think I should have purchased the books. And what I did, which I think helped me pass the course on my first attempt, was that I just researched on my own. So I would type in the topics that were really hard to understand, like wills and estates, and then just read stuff off Google, and then I would YouTube, and I would put the links, like put the subject on YouTube, and then I would just watch some videos from other law schools with similar concepts. So I tried to make sure that I do my own research. I don't know if that's something that, I mean, you can do that, of course, but if the NCA is telling you that read these books, then I think that I should have read them. And so if you're not familiar with the materials, and if you've never studied this course in at a Canadian law school, then I think that you should buy books. Now, the last mistake that I had made, that I did not speak to a lot of people who wrote property law exam. Again, the 5 mandatory courses are obviously a lot of people take those courses, and there's a lot of awareness in terms of what you're expected and how you should be studying and which courses are difficult and which courses are not. But with property law, I felt very lonely preparing for this exam and going crazy. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I really went crazy because I wasn't able to understand anything, and I would keep reading the notes, and the notes were crappy. And it was just very hard. And it was a very stressful time for me. Now I'm laughing about it, but trust me, it was very stressful. And so, if you are writing the exam, I think maybe you should speak to people who have written the exam before. Maybe they have some tips for you. But um, again, I thought that maybe I could share this because, if you are feeling that you're going crazy, at least knowing that somebody else went crazy is just can really calm your nerves. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the mistake that I made. I should have made an effort to speak to other NCA candidates who were writing the exam, or I should have asked them about their experience, or what are some of the things that they had recommended. I just felt like I was trying to figure everything out on my own, and sometimes it's good, but sometimes it can be bad too. In the end, I want to just share some tips regarding this course. This is a very conceptual course. You should be able to really understand the material. And when I say understand, like, your concepts should be very clear. You should be able to understand how cases are applied, what are some of the main principles of property law, and you should be able to answer an exam question. And the NCA sample exam on the NCA website is very similar to what I got on the NCA exam. So I think that it's a good idea to actually prepare like sample answer keys, or maybe just spend some time understanding how to answer that question. If you want to practice some more questions, you can also take a look at UBC, University of British Columbia's law library. If you haven't seen my video, I can link it up there to see how you can access it. It's free and super simple. And yeah, again, my tip would be to actually spend time um, preparing in terms of how you can answer an exam question. I thought that was really helpful. Mostly, I researched on, like, some of the concepts that were not clear, and then I obviously made answer keys that I wanted to use on the exam. So yeah, I mean, I hope that this is helpful. If you'd like me to talk a bit more about NCA property law, again, because I don't think there's a lot of awareness, I can definitely do that. Just let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, good luck. I hope that these videos are helping you out, just maybe reducing your stress, or just knowing that somebody else went crazy. I guess if I had known back in the day that people went crazy preparing for this exam, I would have felt better.